I don't know, guys. I don't know how to start this one. I'm at a loss. Dragon Ball Super episode 127 review. Okay, I guess that's a good place to begin, but beyond that, I don't know. Part of me wants to just start by going off on a massive tangent regarding Jiren, partly because it was fun last week when I did it, and also, I mean, even before I watched the episode last night, I was getting messages on my Twitter and stuff. People were like, well, damn, Tekking, I wasn't with you last week when you said Jiren was ruined, but after watching this episode, now he's ruined. Damn, it sucks to be right sometimes. And so after watching the episode, I've just come to realize, you know what? It's a subjective thing. Some people think that the information we got from Jiren in this episode, it did loads for his character. That's what we needed right there. It's just, some backstory, some motivation. We got it. We're good. He's a solid character. Other people think, yeah, we did get backstory, but it was very shallow. It seemed very cliche. And I don't think this did a lot for the character. I think he does seem like he's just kind of a typical Dragon Ball antagonist, nothing really special with Jiren. And I gotta still include myself in that camp. That's just how it is with me. Super is going to be ending in like 5 episodes now, so it's possible we might not even ever see Jiren again. I don't know what the future of this character is going to be. Like, if Super does return, if you still think it's a hiatus, fine. I think that it's going to come back in another anime form later on. Either way, Jiren might never show up again. And that might just be what was like, okay, here he is, final boss for the tournament, and then after that, we're not going to see him again. But, I'm not impressed. I am not too impressed, okay? Not saying it's completely far gone. They could maybe do something to salvage his backstory, because the stuff we found out in this episode was very minimal, so they could always expand on this later. I could think of a few ways they could expand on it to make it better, but from just what we got in this episode, it didn't do anything to save his character for me. Now, that's part of where I want to just start off on, but part of me also wants to kind of rear it back a bit, maybe start this off a little bit more emotional, and remember the sacrifice of Android 17 with an impromptu musical number. So I think we're going to begin with that, so set cringe levels to, I don't know, somewhere in the 16, 17, maybe even possibly 19 range. Not 21 range, though. That's a little bit too kinky for me. Alright, here we go. Can you still remember how it seemed that we could live forever in an android's dream? And I don't know the rest of that song. I think that was Jude, but I'm not sure. Okay, so Jiren just immediately starts off the episode by awakening his hidden power. So I guess, he was suppressing his abilities up to this point, but now he's going at it. He's just like, roar! And then he unleashes his hidden power. The freak, all the, the surrounding area just begins to crack and break apart like he's sun god Jiren, because he's emanating all this like pure radiation fire from his body. It's the form his ki is taking, I guess. It kind of reminds me of Yamamoto's Bankai from Bleach, how Yamamoto's power grew to such a level, the ki he was not ki, the Ryatsu that Yamamoto was outputting just turned into like, flames, because that was how potent it was. Kind of something similar with Jiren. His ki is just like turning into the sun's radiation with his power here. And everyone's looking at him and they're like, oh my god, he's such a monster. How could we possibly fight against this guy? You know what? If this hidden power-up did anything of note to Jiren, I really couldn't tell you. Because it seems to me, anyway, like he fights the exact same way he always fought. It doesn't seem like his attacks do any more damage than they normally would have. Let me put it this way, for instance. Like, in the episodes prior to this, you had Goku and Vegeta just kind of like fucking around with Jiren, like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and Jiren's just blocking everything, like whatever, not a big deal. In this episode, they kind of just do more of the same. There's times where they get hit by Jiren, they get knocked through walls, they get shot by his energy blasts. And it doesn't seem like it really does any kind of lasting damage. You'd figure, like, this is my hidden power, all my restraints have been unleashed, this is my true power or whatever. You think, like, just by, like, getting a kick from this dude at this level would be the point to just, like, you're done, it's over. But that's not the case. So if this hidden power did anything, I don't really see it. It just kind of made him glow for a little while, and everyone was just kind of scared. As for Vegeta, he just kind of walks out of the crater and goes right back into his royal blue, limit breaker, blue 2 form, like it was nothing. Even though last episode it was like expressly stated, like, he's exhausted, he won't be able to do, he doesn't have any power anymore. Literally just walks right out of the crater and just goes right back into it. Now, I did hear some people saying, it's like, well, that right there, that's the Zenkai boost, you know? The Zenkai boost, of course, when a Saiyan is beaten to near death, their power level increases immensely. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'll give you credit on that one, because in the manga, that was actually explained, the whole Zenkai boost thing. In the manga, it was stated during the future, you know, Trunks saga with Black and everything, that there is an upper limit to Zenkai boost. Eventually, a Saiyan will stop be receiving, you know, new power-ups from the Zenkai. However, it was never stated in the anime. I don't believe it was, so okay, fair enough. The manga and anime I'm not going to hold the anime to an absolute standard with the manga. I will point out when the manga does stuff better than the anime, as in the case with Jiren, but I'm not going to say, like, well, this happened in the manga, therefore it happened in the anime 100%, because that's not the case. However, I still call bullshit on that, because Zenkai has never worked with, you know, a Saiyan getting beaten on the ground and then just coming right back up, and I'm like, I'm stronger. That's never how it's worked. How it goes is you get beaten down to near death, and you still have to recover in some way in order for that power-up to take effect. Like, when Vegeta got the shit beat out of him by Zarbon back on Namek, you know, Vegeta couldn't just stand back up and just be like, alright, I'm strong now, I'm powerful now because I win. No, he had to be carted off by Zarbon and healed in the tank for a little while before he was able to fight again. So, that's the problem I have with this. It's literally like, he exhausted all his power, he's got nothing left, yes I do, boom! And then just goes right back into his most powerful form, high-octane, Super Saiyan God, Blue 2 Vegeta without any kind of repercussions for this, it seems. So that's kind of weird. 17's in on the fray now. He joins in, and he's actually the first one to get a shot out on Jiren. And I'm not upset by that. I'm not upset by the fact it was 17 is the one that hurt him. I'm upset by the fact that the attack that hurt him didn't seem to be anything really all that special. 17 got him caught off guard, fair enough, sure, but out of all of the other techniques that Jiren has tanked, you know, here's Super Saiyan God Blue, Kaioken 20, you know, Kamehameha, here's, you know, Super Saiyan God Blue 2 Royal Flush, whatever, Vegeta's got Final Flash. And Jiren can just kind of like swat those away or tank them like they're not a big deal. Frieza joins in very briefly, but that doesn't really go anywhere. That's more of a comedy skit, if anything. Frieza comes in like, oh, screw the rules, I'm killing you. No, you're not. And then just kind of smacks him into a wall. And there's like, Frieza, just stay. You're not working, Frieza. Just stay down. Maybe you'll have a chance of getting through this if you just stay down. You know, he takes some of these, and even fought against Ultra Instinct Goku for a little while. And it's just like, 17 sneaks up on him like, surprise attack, and just blasts, you know, a big explosion. 17 gets caught up in it too, and Jiren, it blew off part of his outfit, and there's like a little bit of a bruise underneath. But just considering he tanked so much other shit up to this point, and didn't even freaking break a sweat, and it's this thing is the one that actually hurts him. That scares me. That really does give me the impression like, okay, alright, here's how it's gonna go, guys. For 99% of the Tournament of Power, Jiren is going to be an untouchable badass. Alright, he's not gonna get hurt, he's not gonna get tired, he's not gonna sweat, even his clothing is not gonna get damaged. But now that we're in the final battle, despite all this other stuff he took without getting even a semblance of a bruise, now it's because it's the last 1% of the tournament, we gotta have him we have to give them something. We have to get his clothing starting to rip off, or gotta get a little paper cut. We gotta start giving him something. Alright, fine, fair enough, okay, sure. Okay, we get Jiren's backstory in this episode. Bermud is the one that actually says it. Him and 17 kind of have a stare down where Jiren asks him, you know, 17. Well, no, I think it was Bermud that asks him that, because he's like, you know, Universe 7 will survive, and then Bermud is like, Universe 7 will survive, and then what? You know, what will you use the Super Dragon Balls to wish for? And 17 just tells him straight out, like, I'm gonna spend them on a boat. I'm gonna use them on a boat and go on a cruise with my family. And you can tell at that point, all of the gods, all the other gods of destruction and all the Supreme Kais, from the universes that weren't in the tournament yet, because all the other ones are gone, but they're all just be like, fucking really? Really? This massive tournament? So many lives that have just gone silent all across the multiple universes. All the multiple universes that have got erased. And the winner of this is going to just go on a happy little fun cruise with his family. God bless 17. 17, I don't even believe in God, but God bless you, 17. Fuck, that's awesome. Alright, and so Jiren mentions, like, okay, there's stuff even I want to wish for. Okay, there's even stuff I want. Someone that's so... They really drive it in this episode that Jiren's obsession is just strength. Now, of course, this was brought up before, but in this episode, it's really pounded in, like, I will tell you why Jiren is so obsessed with strength. I will tell you the secret behind Jiren's immense strength. Jiren talking about how strength is the only thing that forgives. Strength is the only thing that is real. They really pound this in, and I think that's the first problem there. Alright, I'm somebody that's very much against, just very one-dimensional, like, angles from characters. You can have a character that's obsessed with strength. That's fine. But you gotta give me something else to work with here. Alright? You can't just say, like, okay, he's only obsessed with strength, and this is the reason why he's obsessed with strength. When Jiren was a little kid, which I will admit, Chibi Jiren is pretty adorbs, his entire village, his whole family, all of his friends were wiped out by an evildoer. Who was the evildoer? We don't know. He's just this vague, nebulous, cloudy evildoer. Alright, so his whole family was wiped out. Alright, so we're going Batman with this. I'm like, okay, fine, sure, but you gotta give me something more to go on here, because, parents were wiped out by an evildoer, therefore you're the strongest in the universe. Okay, you gotta go a little bit more than that. So Jiren was saved by this guy. We don't know who this guy is, just this random teacher who takes him away to train him. And there's like a little, a dojo, I guess, where they start like a little group of, people and fighters, and Jiren's in there, and he's training with his master, and he's getting strong now, Chibi Jiren. And then, the evildoer returns, okay, he's back, and then he wipes out his teacher, kills his teacher, and then a few of the members of the dojo. There are a few survivors left, and then after that, Jiren decides, I'm gonna get even stronger. And that's all we get. That's all we get. Emergency sirens going on in the background. Don't know if you can hear that. Okay, so, well, it's a backstory, I'll give you that one. It kind of reminds me of, like, Batman, Bruce Wayne, younger Toguro from Yu Yu Hakusho. I think this was also an Afro Samurai. Oh, where else am I forgetting? Oh, don't worry, because this just look up the trope, like, dead parents, and here you go. I really feel like this was very cliche, very common, and it didn't have to be. You could make this, you could have made this way more interesting, instead of and they might still, keep in mind, I'm holding out hope, they might add some more stuff to it. This is only the stuff we got in this episode. Some people said, last episode I kind of went off the handle too quickly, and then that was right after I was done watching the episode is when I did that. This time I had like a day to think about it. So I'm thinking, all right, they might give us something more. But all I have to say, if this is all we get, and it doesn't expand on this at all, this is shit. I can't think of it another way. I saw some people saying, well, it is simple, I'll give you that. They admit it's pretty basic, because it only covers, like, a few minutes in the episode. His backstory is not long. But it's also something that's more realistic, It's relatable. It's something relatable. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's relatable, but that doesn't change the fact that it's been shown this exact way in so many other forms of fiction. If that's nothing, if you don't care about that, then that's fine. That's cool. But I do. I do care about that, especially with Jiren, especially with this guy that was built up the entire arc, This is a guy that's stronger than one of the gods of destruction. This is a guy that is the strongest, he monitors his whole universe for evildoers. He has a very strong sense of pride and justice and all that shit. He turned down being a god of destruction. I was expecting something a little bit more creative here, and this is the way I think they could have done it. They could have included Bermude into this. They could have included the god of destruction from Universe 11 as the person that actually wiped out his home and his family, and maybe his entire planet was destroyed, and Jiren was saved by his teacher, and then Bermude returned and killed his teacher. And the reason that would have been a big deal was because somebody would have had to sit Jiren down and be like, Jiren, this is just the way the universe is. This is the way all the universes work. There's a god of destruction, and he destroys. He's not evil. He's not good. He's just a destroyer. This is just the way things are. And you can't beat him. You're immortal. He's a god. You can't beat him. You just have to understand that. And then that's the point where Jiren decides, I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to get strong enough to change the world, to defeat even a god of destruction. I'm going to become a mortal that can dethrone a god. That would be an angle that would at least be different. Here it just seems like, this evildoer killed my family, then he killed my teacher, so I have to get strong enough to just beat down any evildoer that I happen to come across. And they don't even express it very well in the episode. I guess what Jiren's going for here is, I want to have a strength that's strong enough to protect my entire universe no matter what threat I could face. That's why he was vying for his strength, just to protect the downtrodden. They don't really even express it that well in this episode. It really just comes off as Jiren stating, strength is the only thing that forgives, strength is the best, strength is the thing that I need to vie for. And his wish wasn't even really stated, but his wish, I guess, is I wish for my family to come back, or my teacher, or I wish that I could go back in time, or I wish that evil could not exist, or I wish, that we don't even know his wish. Like I said, they might expand on this more, but from what I've seen, very basic thing. They don't even and keep in mind, tropes have been used. This trope, the dead parent thing, the dead family, whatever, that's been used so often. I'm not even saying you can't use that, but you gotta give me an interesting spin on it. You gotta give me something interesting. Sasuke, that's another one. You can't just say, yeah, someone killed my parents and killed my teacher. That's why the way I am now. You gotta spin it a little bit. Come on. But yeah, that's Jiren in this episode. And Goku and Vegeta and 17, they all attack him more. They all get knocked back. They're not doing anything here. Goku really needs to start realizing, okay, Vegeta, 17, you hold him off, because the only way we're gonna beat this guy is if I figure out Ultra Instinct, and then he can, while Vegeta and 17 are buying time, maybe Frieza joining in to buy time, Goku could try to figure out some way to initiate Ultra Instinct. That's the only way we're going to finish this off. But anyway, so the big emotional moment of the episode, way more emotional than Jiren's backstory, is that 17 decides to sacrifice himself. You have this big epic battle with Jiren where he just throws up, he powers up in a wall of energy. Goku and Vegeta are lying on the ground, they can't move, and just to give them even a few more seconds of rest, 17, he throws up all of these barriers. Jiren just smashes through them, knocks him around, and then while this energy wave's coming down, he just exerts all of his power he can output at one time, throws up a barrier, and eventually he self-destructs himself. Not using his bomb, because of course he doesn't have a bomb. He self-destructs himself just basically the way that Vegeta would have self-destructed himself if his body couldn't take the blast. He just, I guess charges up a redonkulous amount of ki inside of his body at one time and just boom, and just blows his load. And he does this to try to at least wound Jiren or stun Jiren or do something to give Goku and Vegeta a little bit more time. And this, of course, results in his death. Jiren doesn't get disqualified, of course, because it's, 17 that... Although it's weird because the Grand Priest comes down and says, oh, it's most likely, or we can assume that 17 self-detonated. We can assume. Doesn't he know? He's the Grand Priest. He should know. It seems kind of unfair. It's just we can assume he killed himself. I mean, the Tournament of Power doesn't really have a lot of active referees. There's not a lot of timeout. potential foul, let's review the footage, we don't really, pull it up on the God pad, we don't really have a lot of that in the Tournament of Power. It's pretty much just like, yeah, it looks like he killed himself. All right, keep it moving. You got to keep it interesting for Zeno. You don't have time for timeouts. Okay. Now, you would say, like any other death in Dragon Ball, oh no, 17's dead, his noble sacrifice. Oh, hey, Shenron, how you doing? Sup? Bring 17 back, dog. Okay, pop. One thing, they still might do that, but here's the thing you gotta remember, just one little difference. 17 died in the world of Void. Okay, normally how it goes is somebody dies in Universe 7, they go to the check-in station, there's their soul hanging out with King Yemma and everything like that, and then Shenron or Porongo, you wishes them back and their soul returns, and that's fine. But dying in the world of Void, in a space that doesn't exist in any universe, that's a little bit tough. Where would 17's soul go? If there's no check-in station in this place, it's nowhere, it's the world of Void, so I'm not saying that's going to be a big issue. They could always just say, yeah, oh, Porongo, bring him back. Shenron, bring him back. Hey, guys, what's up? And that's all there is to it. I'm just saying it is a little weird. Now, Super Shenron could definitely bring 17 back. But that would... I mean, I love you, 17. I did the musical number and everything, but how annoying would that be if, Universe 7 finally wins, and then they just use the Super Dragon Balls... Wish back 17, and then he's back, and then group shot, end of Super. Or they could always do the generic, we wish back everybody that was either erased or killed during the Tournament of Power, and they can come live in Universe 7. They could always do that, too. So, hold on, but, pretty sure 17's gonna be revived. Part of me kind of hopes he won't, so his sacrifice actually means something, like they spin that, like he's dead. He died in the world of Void, his soul ceases to exist or something they throw out. Hey, at least that would make his sacrifice noble. If that actually happens, I'm going to do a whole tribute video on 17. Like, if Super ends, or goes on hiatus, whatever you want to call it, if episode 131 ends and 17 is still nowhere to be seen, he's still dead, he's gone, and you see 18 and Krillin erecting a freaking memorial for him or something, and he doesn't come back, I'm going to be doing an all-out 17 tribute ever since he first appeared, because 17 was an awesome character, and we can talk about him, alright, so that I want to kind of do that, but I will put him to rest properly, but I think he probably might come back in some way, Anyway, but that's the episode. I did this in a little bit more of a calm way than normal. This weekend has just been physically draining for me. It's just been, I couldn't do the review last night. I had to stay late at work. Somebody didn't show up for their shift, and we had a truck coming in, so I had to stay late. And then I had work early this morning, so I got home, went to bed, woke right back up again, I was so tired when I got home last night, I couldn't even look at porn. I want you to think about that for a second. There was a moment where I was like, should I look at porn? And then I was like, oh, I can't even keep my freaking eyes open. I need to go to bed. That's how exhausted I was last night. All right. So, that's where we're at right now. We got 4 more episodes left, right? 128, 99. Yeah, we got 4 left. All right. Well, sit tight, kids. Fight with Jiren, Goku, Vegeta. Looks like Vegeta's going to be getting the spotlight next episode. And we're probably going to get him eliminated at some point if these spoilers that came out are accurate. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. This will be Tekking101 signing out. Let me know what you thought about Jiren's backstory. Let me see where you're at in the comments. We can gauge that. All right. Later, everyone.